My name is Malo, and today we enter the Mojoverse. We have the pleasure of having moby.eth on the show today. Forgive me, technical glitches. I hope you don't hear that background sound too much. I'll get that sorted out. I love it. Getting back on track, we have the pleasure of having moby.eth on the show. He's the co-founder of Joypixels, Mojo Heads, and so much more. He's a serial entrepreneur who started more than one handful of successful businesses. He's got a ton of experience, and today we're going to try to get him to spill the beans on everything Mojoverse. But before we bring him on, I'd like to read their mission that's labeled on their most recent roadmap update on a Medium article. I think that everybody really, truly needs to hear this, who's watching this live and watching this recording in the future. So it really sets the tone for our conversation. And I'm just going to read it off here. I don't have that one memorized, so bear with me. It's our mission to expose the true magic behind these amazing creators and their personal artwork. The Mojoverse is an ecosystem designed to, forgive me. We believe in artists. They're humble, kind, gifted individuals. If you've never purchased NFT art from an independent creator, you're missing out on an experience you won't forget. Art is personal, art is emotional. It's not just a pretty JPEG. It's so much more than that. It's beauty, freedom, self-expression, purpose, and often validation. There's no community on earth like it. The Mojoverse is an ecosystem designed to empower NFT artists and their collectors. With that, I'd like to welcome Moby himself. Let's give him a warm welcome, a monkey chant welcome. Let's bring him on the stage here. How you doing, Moby?
You do it around here?
Yeah. And we do it live. You know, sometimes we have little glitches or hiccups, or you can plan so much for the intro, and then bam.
Hey, that was a great intro. Thanks for reading that mission, by the way. I wrote that a long time ago, but I actually haven't read it back in a very long time, but it still is beautiful. I love it.
It's good to revisit those things from time to time, right?
Got to remind yourself why you're here and what your purpose is sometimes.
Yeah.
I always proofread it in my head, but it's usually not exactly the same as when I first wrote it.
I'm the same way.
I see.
Yeah,
I'm in StreamYard. Should I be in YouTube to actually see comments or anything like that, or can I just play off of what I see here?
I would say open up YouTube and then mute it, right? So you don't have that echo effect. Because I don't know. Can you see the comments here on StreamYard on the dashboard?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Well, I don't know if all of them are showing, but I do see some.
I would imagine all of them. I mean, we see quite a few. So
fangirling. I got some high fives and some claps. Yeah, I'm seeing everything. So StreamYard's great. 11 people. What's up? I see some names I recognize. What's up, Pars? Amanda, how you doing? Some new faces I've never seen before.
Yeah, let's run it back here. Thank you so much, Marielle, Miss Manda, Sakib, aka I hope I'm saying this, Coken Clicks.
Oh, Josh.
Love it. Thank you so much, everybody, for tuning in.
Hey, thanks for having me, man. I'm real excited about this. I don't get on video very often, so let's do it.
I love it. Hopefully the first of many, right? So let's get it rolling then. So before we do get started, just to keep everybody aware of the structure, it is a 45-minute cap today. So we'll be as brief as possible, as minimal squirrel moments as possible. We have a term around here. Sometimes we squirrel, sometimes a random topic or thought will pop up and steer the conversation in a different direction. And it's not always a bad thing. So
you call it squirreling, huh? That's funny.
Right? Yeah, we call it squirreling. So let's get started. Now, I want to remind everybody we have a few giveaways going on today. We're giving away a Mojo Heads NFT of Tyler's Journey. I'll be making a post on NFT Bytes shortly, as we start asking Moby some questions here, and we'll put him full screen for the audience on that one. And then I had a spontaneous kind of like last minute act of giving. I bought a VIP and 2 priority access Mojo passes, I believe they're called, right? And we're going to be giving those away to the audience today as well as a lovely surprise. And then
you're giving away more stuff than we do on Wednesdays. You guys have a really good shot at winning something cool today. But go ahead.
Let's go. As well as some monkey bites. Nice. You know, depending on who's still sticking around at the end of the episode, some monkey bites are up for grabs too. So it's going to be a jam-packed episode of giving and learning about Moby, learning about Mojo heads, learning about where it all started. And I'm very excited. So let's get it rolling. So to start, I'd love for you to share in your own words, right? A little bit more about yourself before we dig into the Mojoverse. So being a serial entrepreneur and have started more than a handful, I believe it's 7 businesses. And that's my number, by the way. That's my lucky number. I could be wrong. So hopefully I'm not misspeaking.
I don't know how you define businesses.
I guess anything legally formed, right? With something like that. But I'd like to ask you, where did it all start? Like, where does this amazing energy and thoughtful approach in this present moment come from?
Yeah, that's a tough one. I mean, I'd say many, many years of struggle and hardship as an entrepreneur is how I got here. You know, my positive attitude, my work ethic, I think just comes from experience. It also comes from experiencing a lot of life too. So, you know, going through, I would say everything from years of taking time for myself and enjoying away from the office for many, many years really gave me like a second wind and a new drive to do something much more purposeful and meaningful. I would say I'm just a more mature entrepreneur and I'm a more mature adult these days than maybe I was 10 years ago, 20 years ago, where I think I was more money motivated. So, you know, these days I do feel like I'm more purpose driven. And so I want to make a difference, just like you, Malo. You're one of the masters of giving. And so, you know, I want to give back in many different ways as well. Of course, I'm here to run a business. Of course, I'm here to, you know, take care of my family, which is, you know, everybody around me, my staff, my team, and then everybody close and up who are some of our biggest supporters as well. But yeah, I mean, what gives me my drive these days and what keeps me working pretty much every hour, it's just a lot of fun. I don't have much more fun than the NFT space. I've done a lot of different things, but there's something about the being on the brink of technology and being able to work with blockchain in a way that has completely transformed how we produce products and create new innovation. So, you know, blockchain innovation to me is the biggest toy chest that we could have asked for as developers and creators. So that really keeps me going. But being able to run communities like this in a way that we never have been able to do before opens up other opportunities. And there's something about community online in the virtual metaverse that is very exciting. I live in this world of computers and I live to create, but I've never been able to really create communities in this type of way. And honestly, like, communities is not really my forte. This is something that we've learned to do. But I would just say that what keeps me driven, what keeps me up every single day working really hard is the people in this space, but also the technology that is given to us as a gift to do amazing things.
Well said, man. Thank you for sharing. I had to pin this comment. Forgive my voice crackle there. I have a feeling he knows you very well working with you. So
Pars is a new member of the team. He's an amazing human being. Absolutely.
That's awesome. I couldn't agree more on that snip there. He's a hidden gem in the space. You know, ever since I first heard about Moby and what he's doing, while it took me a while to actually really dig into the project, you know, in the midst of all the madness and my squirrel and focus at that time, you know, I couldn't agree more on that front. You're a hidden gem, and like, this project is a hidden gem. And I love the thoughtful approach, and you know, we'll get more into that. I don't want to get ahead of myself here, but so keeping like the past in mind, right? Your very first business. Do you remember what motivated you to start it? Was it a market opportunity? Was it you wanted to start your own business? You didn't want, maybe you were doing something previously that you didn't like and you had been planning. Like, I'm curious. Do you remember at all? Like, I'd love
Well,
to hear.
I've always had just a money making drive when I was a kid. My uncle, who was kind of like my mentor growing up, he was, you know, very successful at running sporting goods stores in California, and so I followed him very closely. You know, you go to this big house, you have these big parties as a family, and that motivates you to want to do something more that's bigger than, you know, what you kind of grow up to be taught. So anyhow, my first business, I would probably a lemonade stand, you know, when I was 8 years old. Or something like that. And that moved to baseball cards. Very similar journey to Gary Vaynerchuk, in that I just kind of had the drive and passion. I didn't have the salesmanship that he has, but I had the hustle. And, you know, I loved trying to figure out how to create an edge against your competitors. So it moved to that, and then it moved to buying and selling baseball cards online, you know, from doing shows to doing it online. And then from there, building websites. And then from there, the internet just opened up amazing opportunities and, you know, domain names and different type of websites that we could talk about. But, you know, I would say that it went from 1995, when I was 18 years old, to where we are today. So we're talking about 20 some years, 26 years or so, running online companies. And some of them very successful, some of them very unsuccessful. So I've been on a roller coaster journey of success and failures. But it's gotten me to where I am today, and couldn't be happier. Really, I've definitely hit peak happiness in my life at age 45, and, you know, trying to expand on that.
I love it, man. Wow. Thank you for sharing that. That's amazing. It seems like you're able to, I don't want to say predict, that's not the proper verbiage there, but more so anticipate technological shifts, like being at the forefront when you entered into the e-commerce space. I mean, did you see that opportunity? You saw all this attention, seeing the convenience in ordering things online. You saw that the internet was here to stay. I'm curious your thoughts on the internet. At that present moment, is that kind of why it pulled you that way? You know, not only, you know, the aim for money at that time, right? But and the reason I'm asking this is now you're here in the NFT space. Is there any correlation to you being able to see something happening before the rest of the world sees it happening?
No, I'm just like a kid in the candy store. Whenever there's something new to play with, I want to play with it, and that's all it comes down to. I wouldn't call myself a really good forecaster of success. You know, getting into the NFT space, for example, you know, I did not buy Bored Apes early on, although I did buy them under 5 ETH, but then I sold them just over 5 ETH, and then I rebought at 5 ETH, and I sold them at 30 ETH. So it's just like, you know, I mean, there's definitely, when I look back, I'm like, I really did a terrible job at certain investments, whether it's NFT, crypto, stocks. You know, I've lost a lot of money. Like I was betting against the market after COVID because I thought there's so much lower to go. Like everybody was just basically predicting that we were going to go much lower. So I lost a lot of money during the COVID rise when the Fed basically just carried everybody up to success. And I was just like, what am I doing? So, you know, I would say, I'm like batting 50-50 when it comes to certain things like that. But overall, I've done really well with investments just because I've been pretty aggressive in betting on Bitcoin. And, you know, but at the same time, you go with the lows as well, right? We're all suffering now from, you know, this semi-unexpected crash, at least not in this extreme way. I didn't expect it. But you know, you live and learn. I'm here in the technology because it is some of the best technology we've ever had to play with.
Yeah, I couldn't agree more on that front. And you know, it's all about testing and tasting. It sounds like with you, right? Kid in a candy store. I'm very similar in that sense. I like creating my own laboratories and just going down the most random rabbit holes. Whether it's digital marketing or web development or even now Solidity development. So I know exactly how that feels, and that's awesome. Thank you for sharing.
Absolutely, yeah.
just before we move into the present moment, rumor has it that one of your old homes was featured on HGTV.
Oh
True or
shit.
false?
That's true. That's very true.
Okay, very cool. I'm curious for the audience, what was that featured like? Did it have something special in it? I'd love to let you share as much as you're willing to share that.
Sure. Yeah, I don't mind. I'm trying to think of the name, but I think it was called $1 Million Rooms was the actual show.
Okay.
And it was my interior designer who had like a hookup at the show on HGTV. And so they're like, hey, we want to feature your basement. And my basement was, it was literally built as if Tom Hanks had, millions of dollars in the movie Big,
Right.
is what I'm trying to think of. And he basically just decked it out with games and, bomb ass lounge with a bar and a great pool that overlooks the city of Las Vegas. So I had a beautiful, beautiful home that I built from scratch. It was quite the experience to do that. Made some good money from the years like 2005 up until 2010, something like that, and then just blew so much money on this house. But it was an amazing time. Just because you just don't get to do stuff like that normally. So as much as it was a terrible investment, and I would definitely recommend anybody who's going to build a custom home to do certain things to make sure that investment pays off long term. But yes, I believe that the episode should be somewhere online somewhere. I don't live in that house anymore, but I've slimmed down my life quite dramatically since then. And as great as it was to own a house of that caliber, I wouldn't recommend it unless you are prepared for what's required to maintain a house like that, both in money and just time and effort. But yeah, we had stuff like a mini bowling alley. We had custom poker table, custom pool table, game room, arcade games and stuff like that, virtual golf, stuff like. I mean, it was ridiculous. But yeah, if you can find it, I definitely recommend checking it out. I wish that sometimes I do wish that I could just go downstairs and start whacking some golf balls and playing and bowling and stuff like that. But that's my previous life.
Yeah. No, thank you for sharing all that. That's amazing. I could only imagine the expenses and not only like financially, but emotionally, right? Like it takes a toll maintaining a house that's really, really large or has certain, maintenance requirements, so to speak, right? And that's amazing. You built it yourself. So are you...
Well, I didn't hammer the nails or anything like that.
Okay.
But yeah, you go through the design process first. You get the blueprints the way you want them, or the floor plans, and then you have to pick out everything. So you work with the interior designer, you work with the architect, and you just have to go through everything one by one. So it was like a 2.5 year process.
Okay, cool. Man, thank you for sharing. Now, enough with the past. Let's get to the present.
Sure.
I'd love to talk to dig into the Mojoverse. Before we get started, though, let's be efficient with our time. I see 17. So right now, I'm going to type in start. Guess a number between 1 and 20. 1 and 20. We're going to give away one of the priority access passes from...
How's K-Bear here? She should be working over there.
Let me just pull.
So which pass are you giving away?
We're going to do a priority access. Not the VIP. The VIP we'll save for the end.
We're going to warm it up.
Still here. Yeah, we got to warm it up, rather than doing this in a bulk all at once. Figured we'd pop them in and surprise everybody.
Everybody's just going with the obvious.
Okay, so hey, it looks like pars, right? He got 7 first in my eyes. So Jonathan, Zen already redid it. Jonathan, re-roll, please. Dream usually gets it. He knows 7's the number. It's not that I can pre-pick the number or anything, but it's if you've learned enough about me.
This is a random number, 1 through 18.
Well, 1 through 20. Yeah, 1 through 20. And we're going to pick a random number generator through Google. So I'm going to share my screen here in a moment.
Got it.
And it's as simple as this. Yeah.
Very cool.
Sometimes I'll do the spin the wheel, But since this one, I was like, you know what? Let's surprise everybody before we get started into the Mojoverse. All right.
I'm gonna say number 1.
I think everyone's good, so I'm about to type end. Oh, did yours get in? Nobody guessed 1, huh? So we'll keep you at 1 there. All right.
Oh, I was just playing around.
Okay. I was like, you probably have some crazy plan to give it away or do something special. So
I got plenty of passes. I'm good.
Let's go. Good luck, everyone. 18. Who got it? Somebody got 18. We have currently a tie between Saqib or Saqib. Okay, so if there's a tie, we got to re-roll. Now, what's the most fair approach? Do we re-roll between the 2 of them like a sudden death?
Ooh, this is your show. I don't want to get involved in politics, bro.
Let's... I love it. Neutral. This is the thing of doing it live sometimes, you know? Not everyone's going to be happy either. We're going to re-roll. So, start. Let's go. We got to hit it 1 through 20. Same thing. You see my comment? Everything starts. Good luck. We're going to end this in about 30 seconds. In the meantime...
everybody puts in new numbers?
Yep, new numbers.
Oh, new numbers, you guys.
All new numbers, yeah. Yep.
Stick with 1.
New numbers. That rarely happens, but when it does, I feel like the right thing to do is just to re-roll. If nobody guessed it head on. I'd love to start by sharing a snippet from another snippet from your Medium article to help paint a picture for our viewers. And this is about Mojo Heads, right? We're starting off with Mojo Heads, and I'd love to dig into a few little notes that I have. Top of my list is the Mojo Token, as well as the Mojo IDs, which I'm going to share that video that I found doing my research with everybody here today. But I'd love to read this off really quickly, and by the time I'm done reading this, we'll select a winner here and pick the number. Mojo Heads is quickly being recognized as the official rookie NFT collectible for independent artists, some emerging, some very well established. The more well-known artists from Group A and B include Yam with World of Women, Drift from Drifter Shoots, Sparky from World of Women and Weapons, and many more. The Angel Fund is something very, very special that I wanted to spotlight for everybody here. And this is quote unquote, our mission involves giving back to the community. 20% of all sales and proceeds collected by Joypixels will be set aside in an angel fund used to give back to the community in the form of art purchases, educational resources, artist grants, and giveaways. As of April 3rd, 2022, the angel fund has spent roughly 33 ETH on various NFT artwork. In total, we've purchased over 300 pieces of art. To view some of the artwork we've acquired, visit the Angel Fund Vault, which you can find the link on that Medium article. I do encourage everybody here, if you haven't taken the time to read it, it's a nice 10-minute read depending on your pace, and I highly recommend it. You know, I may be fresh on it, but it's definitely a good read. Well written there. Was that you who put that together, or do you have a copywriter who helps you out?
Usually I'm forced to do the words myself, but
okay.
We don't have a strong copywriter on staff, but I would say that, you know, usually I can just knock it out pretty fast. But now I have people like Pars that get in there and help me with some of the articles on Medium. But the older ones for sure, that would be mostly me.
Okay. And then I'm just double checking. Did anybody guess 17? I did smack it really quickly. Instead of everybody guessing again, I suppose I'll just re-roll the number here.
Yeah, just
20. Oh my goodness. Oh, what's going on here?
Keep going, man.
All right, let's keep going. 11.
I know who's got that one.
Who is this?
Well, you got to go back. Let's see.
Oh, it was the first roll.
Oh, K-Bear. Would have had it. She should.
Shout out K-Bear. Thanks for tuning in.
That was my lucky number, which is why I should probably use that one.
All right, I guess we got to re-roll. Did she pick a different number?
No,
looks like
she didn't get in there.
Oh, sorry, K-Bear.
Shout out to Melvin. Melvin's in the house. He's an official Mojo head.
Miss Manda Art gets it. Yeah, shout out to.
She was the first, huh? Yep.
She was the very first. Congrats, Amanda.
So that's the priority pass.
You get a priority pass. Let's
Awesome.
go.
She's gonna
Okay,
need that in
awesome.
Group D.
I'm excited for the next wave. Now,
I
I'd love to
know.
get into that. Can you give us some alpha? I believe the current milestone to reach is a certain floor price, correct? And then Group D kicks off, or am I mistaken?
Yeah, yeah. You like the word? I like that. Use the word milestone there, but we do need to reach 0.5. So that's my kind of pledge to the community. Hey, let's get this floor up before we start minting more. And that's selfish too. Like we really want to be able to charge more for Mojo heads because these aren't cheap to create. We have to onboard people. There's a staff involved in doing that process. You know, we do actual signatures. We go out and find the artists, but also the artwork behind it as well. It's very carefully crafted. So we have two designers that work on it, plus, you know, a project manager. So it does cost more than I'd say most generative projects, which mean we need to kind of have like a minimum amount of ETH that we bring in for each group. But I think we'll get there. It's just more or less timing. So we're going to wait until probably Ethereum gets to a certain point, but hopefully we can get our floor up as well.
I love it. And it's totally understood. I'd love to touch on that with Joypixels. I mean, how many NFT projects or brands or ideas, initiatives that started as an NFT project are backed by a company, right? Such as yourself. It's very rare to see. And not just a company that was formed for the NFT project, right? You've been in business. And I got to say, your pixels, your Joe emoji, those I almost wanted to call them joy emojis. I love the artwork, especially on the monkeys. Hold on, I'm gonna squirrel here and pull them up.
Hell yeah, man.
I'd love to ask and shed some light for the audience and myself. What motivated you to start Joypixels? I see you're a co-founder, so I'm guessing it's some type of partnership or multiple heads coming together with a vision. I'd love to learn more about you on that front.
Yeah, special shout to Casey, co-founder Dev, who I believe is in the room somewhere. But you know, Joypixel started back in 2013. This was almost 9 years ago. We started as an open source emoji font just for fun. We literally just put it out there because we saw the need and wanted to do something fun. So Joypixel started as the first actual open source emoji font in the entire web. Twitter followed suit pretty closely after we launched ours, and then it was many iterations after that. I mean, we hired different designers and ultimately turned it into a business. It got a lot of traction from various repositories and eventually became something that we would see products in stores using our emojis. We would see commercials using our emojis. Time Magazine had us on their cover on a special edition, happiness edition of Time Magazine. I'm like, what are our emojis? Like literally somebody texted me, said, "Aren't these your emojis?" I'm like, those are our emojis. We didn't get any money for stuff like that. They were open source, so people could just pretty much use them. But once and Photoshop hit us up, they're like, "Can we put your emojis into our software?" And we're like, "What are you talking about?" Of course, amazing. Do whatever you want.
Yeah, right.
And so after that, we're like, "Okay, let's just turn this into a business." And it was a hard business. Emojis are not easy to make money off of. It's not easy to sell a company on a multi-$1,000 license for icons, right? But we managed to survive and do fairly well with what we're I guess the challenge that we put upon ourselves. But yeah, Joypixels is great. I think that we've produced something that's really amazing. We have tons and tons of mainstream companies that have used us for marketing campaigns as well as in their products themselves. So I know Zoom just did something. They just licensed our emojis for their software. I don't know exactly how they're using it yet, but like Zoom, Ford, Mercedes, Adobe, and just dozens and dozens, Slack, all use our emojis in different ways. And that money has helped us for sure stay in business during this NFT crash while we're making zero in the NFT space pretty much. And so, it's definitely helped to have a real business in this case because without it, I think that it would be very tough for us to survive right now.
Yeah, I could imagine. But 9 years in business, man. like I tip my hat off to you. Congrats. You know, that's not an easy feat, as you've learned with your life experiences, you know, starting multiple businesses. So that
I mean,
brings a thought. I didn't want to interrupt though. Go for it.
No, it's all good. The key really to businesses, unfortunately, is that, you know, when you have more and more and more at the same time, it's really difficult to manage so much. And so it's not ideal, right? Ideal would be, okay, we're just going to focus on Mojo heads. We're going to focus on building out the Mojoverse. But sometimes, just like the last couple weeks, you know, we've had to pivot back to Joypixels and launch 7.0. And it does kind of delay some things because of that. But overall, we've really added just so many great individuals to the team to make sure that we continue to move forward regardless of any distractions from Joypixels. But we've pivoted pretty much 80% over to the Mojoverse, and Joypixels kind of runs on its own. Marcy helps out with licensing, and everything still runs very, very well. But we've kept development on the Joypixel side to a minimum for sure.
Okay, cool. You popped a squirrel thought in my head, and I thought it would be valuable for the audience and anybody watching this recording. And heck, you could probably even clip this one. Which, by the way, I always provide all the full-length video for the guests, so I'll be clipping this one as well. So we'll provide all that clipped material. If you want to use it, you're free to use it. So, but what's one tip you have for someone just starting their own business? To be more efficient in executing on tasks and goals?
I have so many tips when it comes to building a business, but when it comes to being more efficient, I would say just clean up your environment, you know, so make sure your life is in order before you're ready to dive into a business that's going to require a lot of responsibility. As an entrepreneur, I would say start very slow. You know, do not dive into something you are not comfortable with. Make sure that the business that you want to get into, you understand very well first. I think a lot of people, they come to me with ideas and they say, hey, I've got the next big app idea, or I've got the next big NFT concept. But they haven't thought through the execution. So, you know, you see a lot of people with great ideas, but then you ask them, well, have you ever operated a business before? Have you ever built an app before? Have you ever done anything required to execute what you want? And most people, they tend not to know or have the experience to do those things. So then, you know, you got to bring in people that have, so maybe partner up with somebody who knows how to execute on your plans. But I would say in general, you know, I like first, if you're a brand new entrepreneur, you know, keep it small, maybe one other person to really go in with you on an idea and execute it, knowing that you have nothing riding on it. So, you know, nothing invested, or at least a very minimal investment. I hate seeing people or entrepreneurs lose money on a big idea that they have, only to realize that it's much, much more difficult, or it's, you know, they run into challenges that they didn't foresee in the beginning. So just go in with an open mind and look at it as a great experience, just like artists have to do in the NFT space. You go in with very few expectations. The lower your expectations, the better, right? Because then when sales do come through, it's a great thing. But you don't want to increase your lifestyle just because some sales came in. You want to make sure to still play it very, very conservative. And that's been my failures in the past too, building a big mansion, for example. You know, when I probably should not have done that financially, that was not the smartest thing to do. It would have been just, you know, lay low, you know, build a nice house, but it doesn't have to be a big house on the HGTV house on the hills of Las Vegas. So the same type of thing would apply to an entrepreneur getting in. You know, just go in and enjoy yourself for a little while, and then feel it out, decide if you want to then scale it from there.
Solid advice. Thank you for sharing. I'd love to move on to my next question, and I'd love to briefly show the roadmap. I know I'm double checking the clock. I love being mindful of the clock. You know, I'm trying to be more efficient, as I said earlier on in the episode, and I think it does show. But there's always room for improvement, and that's funny. So I'm actually at a lake house right now too. So if you see anybody walking by, that's just part of the family.
Awesome, oh, that's really cool. Nice.
Let's see. So let's pop this in here.
Look at this.
And go full screen. I gotta say, this teaser movie is impressive. Everyone's got to see it. Let me turn off this background music.
Funny. You did a lot of research.
This is Lark. He is a productive and busy guy offline, but has lost control of his identity and content online, full of profiles, usernames, and URLs. Like you, Lark just needs a little mojo. Introducing Mojo ID, the most compact user ID ever created. Instead of letters, it's a sequence of emojis you can register and call your own. Lark used to be all this. Now he is simply this. His Mojo ID can fit anywhere online or even in the real world, like a personal logo that speaks for itself. The best part? Fishbowl is the lookup key to Lark's new smart profile, a personalized start page to his essential sites, accounts, and content. Takes minutes to set up and is totally free. Each Mojo ID is minted into a one-of-a-kind NFT and completely secured on the blockchain. Lark's now back in control of his identity and content. Say goodbye to digital clutter and say hello to Mojo ID. The question now is, what will be yours?
I love it. And sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off at the end there.
No, that's great. Production value is great. You just pop that video right in and it works great.
Right? I know. It's amazing. So I'd love to talk on Mojo ID. I wanted to touch on the first part of your roadmap here, right? And this was originally written in December, but you've already, so Secret Mojo NFT is completed. And now they've evolved into their permanent form, if I'm not mistaken. And I'm going to show my screen here for this, the Mojo ID mint passes. So I'm curious, from the outside looking in, like just from doing my research, how does this correlate with for me to acquire my Mojo ID? Do I need one of these passes?
Yeah, the article that you got that video from has all of the answers, right? So we've got the Q&A in there. So if you're ever curious about where this is going, we kind of hid that little article in Medium, and it spells out everything, including that video that you showed. So yes, the way this works is that we launched these back in December. And if you could bring up that page real quick.
Of course.
Yeah. The way it works is that if you have one of these passes, you can see the different tiers represented by colors. So the purple is kind of the bottom tier. We call it the purple tier on this card, I believe. Then we've got the chrome tier, the graphite tier, and then the hologram tier. Each one of those tiers represents kind of the level of ID that you'll be able to register. So each pass here is it's kind of like a pre-sale pass. This guarantees you one of the first Mojo IDs. So these passes, although they've kind of just been sitting there because we've delayed the launch, will be super valuable as long as our platform becomes something important, right? But if Mojo ID takes off and you have one of these passes, then you're basically guaranteeing yourself one of the best IDs that you'll be able to buy. We will reserve some IDs, so I'm just being upfront about that too. We're going to reserve some IDs first, take out maybe some of the very highest tier combos, and then probably put them in our Mojo marketplace. But you will have first crack after that. So so if you see the icons here, the way it works is that, let's say you have the alien purple, right? You'll be able to use that alien anywhere in the ID. So for example, if you wanted to do the eyeball and then the heart, like I love aliens, or if you wanted to do something like planet rocket alien, you could, or you could use alien in the beginning as well. So anywhere in the ID, that alien would have to be. Now, if you have a poop emoji, that is a wild card. So those are the most sought after. Yeah, so you're gonna see some poops in there.
I see a silver poop here.
Yep, any poop, any expression works, and you'll be able to. It's basically a wild card, so you'll be able to register any ID in that tier.
Wow. I'm already picking out mine. If I'm being honest, I hope nobody goes and snipes me. I'm adding to tab. So
there's some really good deals right there. I could tell you that.
I'm looking like it's insane. Interesting.
Yeah, that monkey staring right at you. We don't have any squirrels though.
No squirrels. What about a banana?
We got poops for 0.069. Wow. That's a chrome for 0.069. Yeah, see, I haven't even visited OpenSea in a long time under this collection.
Right. It could also just be, in the midst of this quote unquote, I don't want to say bear market or winter, but winter is probably the best term. I'm sure there's a lot of listings just, going as low as
this is
they need to.
on us as well. We really pushed this project back quite a bit, and I can totally understand people wanting liquidity at this point. But those that are patient, I believe, are going to really be happy with their choice. And for those that pick up any of these, especially that Chrome turd, I would grab that in a heartbeat. You can't really go wrong at 0.069, but we'll see what happens. We do have a lot of work to do, but by the end of the year, I expect us to have a lot of progress with Mojo ID.
Love it. I'm excited for that one. I got to say, it does remind me. Have you heard this? A Bit of Yat.
And you do see that in my article. We kind of compare, what the differences are between us and Yat. Which is another reason why we delayed Mojo ID for a little bit of time. We really wanted to kind of just observe how Yat evolves and the success that they have. They've done a great job, and I give them a lot of credit. And they're working on some amazing things with their new profiles. But yeah, we just have a different approach. One just simple example is that we want to have a limited supply of total Mojo IDs, as well as not go beyond the 3-character mark. Yats can go up to 5 characters, and I believe that they get a little bit convoluted after 3 characters, which is why we chose that. And there you go. There's a list of differences between us and Yat. And we have a few other ideas up our sleeve as far as how we can make it a little bit more special. But we're gonna take our time and really think through how that's going to work. But we're also using our own emojis, our Unicode compliant emojis, which other brands use as well. So they are, kind of emojis in the wild versus custom emojis that Yat built specifically for just Yat. So that makes them a little bit more special as well.
Cool. I'm excited for it, if I'm being honest, because I don't think anybody is leading the race, so to speak, at being that top tier emoji based domain system, right? I know ENS is now doing it, right, with their emojis on there, and they're highly sought after, but creating that profile with all these different links and everything else incorporated with Mojo ID.
The profile, in my opinion, is just as important as the domain. I think Yat's done a great job. I think that they are clearly winning. If there is any type of competition, that they're way ahead. But that doesn't make a difference at all to me. So I do expect us to at least enter the race soon. And I think that the difference between an emoji, let's say the difference between having an emoji in an ENS domain and then having a dedicated Mojo ID is extreme. So having a dedicated one is very important, but having a picture-based ID that's 3 characters long is really the magic behind Mojo ID. You just can't fit any type of other username into 3 characters. And you can have literally 1 billion different combinations just in 3 characters when you're talking emojis.
I love it. And you guys happen to create those amazing emojis. So I'm excited to see this thing launch. And I hope nobody grabbed that silver poop. For the sake of being efficient, I was about to buy it, but it's just going to delay us closing this out. So I want to be mindful of your time as well. I know we're rocking. Man. Let's keep going.
Yeah, no, let's keep going, dude.
Awesome. So I'd love to touch on Mojo Token as much as you're willing to share. Mojo Token, Mojo IDs were at the top of my list. And then, of course, anything else you'd like to share about Mojo Heads at its present moment that you'd like the audience to know.
Yeah, well, I would say this. I mean, I'm so optimistic and very just excited for people that have held their Mojo Heads for this long. So, for everybody that's in our community, gosh, you guys have been so loyal to us, and you come back every single Wednesday to listen to our podcasts called Mojo Live, and it's just a great time. And so I'm very excited for those that are in our community holding Mojo Heads, because I have a clear idea of exactly how this is going to go down. But the Mojo Token, we really want to empower the entire community and the entire space in a way that's unique and different from other token launches. The Mojo Token it's not only going to empower the Mojo ecosystem. In other words, I think the Mojo Token will be the primary payment for a lot of our product launches, but it'll also be potentially a primary payment for art launches as well. That's kind of where I want to go with this. And I think that there's a lot of opportunity here to create a very inventive and new style marketplace for artists, whether it's a launch pad where artists can can feature brand new collections and sell them on our Launchpad, or whether it's a full-blown marketplace like Foundation, Super Rare, etc. Yeah, and using a token that's kind of more like the people's token, where everybody, you know, we obviously are going to give away most of these tokens and keep very few for ourselves. This is all about really empowering the space and finding strategies in order to bring value to the collectors as well as the artists. And here, I'll give you one little piece of alpha on how this is kind of going to work, because this is where the inventive type of ideas come into play. But what we've done is we've built something called milestones. If you have been to our Medium articles, and I would say that that is the first place you want to go, is Mojoverse or the Mojo Heads Medium, and you'll read all about milestones. Once you get to that article, you'll understand that we're basically building the first Web3 achievements in NFT form. And so they're beautiful works of art as trophies that you can achieve simply by holding certain sets of different Mojo tokens. We're going to apply that the same way to the art space. So imagine now us basically providing a platform for artists where certain qualifications have to be met, but you can now stake art where before the art was the utility, right? So we want to add a layer of utility for participating collections so that they can basically allow their collectors to stake passively, and I'll talk about that, passively, the art that they create. So Working Dog's a great example. If Miss Manda is a collection that we include as a staked collection, everybody who owns a Working Dog could simply sign up to Mojoverse and then automatically get staking rewards for doing absolutely nothing, for simply holding that Working Dog. And we can go back and actually determine how long they've been holding it for as well. So the longer you've held, the quicker that you earn that milestone. And so it might be, let's say, a illustration milestone, you know, and maybe we have different tiers based on kind of the value of those NFTs. And we might include a few other same illustration style collections under that milestone. But now it's gamified. So we want to gamify art collecting, right? Because the one thing that's missing, in my opinion, when it comes to, and I've been an art collector now in NFT space for almost a year, is some sort of gamification. You know, we're enjoying PFPs so much because of the possible utility behind it, whether it's a game or whether it's staking rewards or whether you might get an airdrop of some kind. You know, the airdrops are great. A lot of different artists love to do airdrops in their own unique way, which I think is amazing. It allows them to be innovative as well. But staking is not something that exists usually in the art space. And I think that that is something that would really, really be beneficial, especially, you know, if it costs absolutely nothing to the artists themselves. And it doesn't really cost us too much. You know, we have to develop the software, but we can launch a coin, empower people with the coin, provide value, airdrop tokens to people who have collected artwork, whether it's through Super Rare, Foundation, OpenSea, those type of things. So we really want to give away as much as possible, and at the same time offer these valuable type of innovative ways that people can earn tokens through simply collecting the artwork that they already collect.
That is amazing. I got to say, I'm excited for this one. I clearly didn't do enough reading on the milestones to learn this without you explaining it. But I'm also that type of learner. I love to ask questions in real time with the team behind a project. I was never a big reader when I was a kid. So reading for me is kind of, I'm not sure.
I get through 2 paragraphs and I'm like, what did I just read?
I know, right? Sometimes you got to reread it over it again. But man, just like, oh my God, hi. Oh my God. Yes, Marielle, mind blown. That's amazing. I'm getting very, very excited to just continue this pursuit of giving back more than we receive. I mean, our missions are aligned. It's amazing how aligned they are. So whatever help you need from BitMonkey 3.0, anything I'm working on from a development standpoint, anything I can do to help, please do let us know. Please.
We always need help, man. So I'm sure we can connect and kind of brainstorm. Would love to hear more about your next venture, or at least the next version of BitMonkey, but yes, let's do that for sure.
For sure, yeah. We'll hop on another call one day, one-on-one, whenever you have some free time. And I know you're a busy man though, so we'll coordinate accordingly and take it from there. I love that. Shoot. Is there anything else you'd like to share? I'd like to transition into the closing 7 questions, which normally are very quick, but with how thoughtful these are, and there's a few kind of like 2 questions in one, I have a feeling they're going to take at least 10 minutes. I hope that's
I love
okay
how thoughtful you've been in this interview. For sure, man. Take your time. I look forward to it.
I appreciate that. Awesome. So before we get to the outro, let's do another giveaway. Another giveaway, 1 through 20. We're going to do another priority access pass right now. I'm going to type in start. And please guess a number 1 through 20.
Shout out to some friends of mine here. We got Jeff in the house. Look at that. He's sporting one of the Mojo Pals. And I saw Slade earlier too. I don't know if he's still around.
I love it. Shout out to everybody who's, popping in and out, doing their best to tune in. I understand we all have our lives to live, and it's a unique time of the day to do a stream too. So I just want to say thank you to everybody taking the time to watch.
What's up, Jason? How you doing, man?
Yeah, I wanted to pin this, based off of our, this past few minutes. I mean, I'm very excited because you're rewarding artists who are doing their thing in the space independently, while also rewarding token owners of that artist who also are involved. So quick question on that front. Does that, let's say somebody owns 5 working dogs, but 0 Mojo heads, they can still, right? From what I remember, log in and essentially stake for holding those working dogs using that as a reference, right?
Yeah, possibly, right? So
okay.
Theoretically right now, but we'll need to figure out what the requirements are going to be for collections, art collections that are out there. I think that holding Mojo heads, for example, might be one of the main criterias in order to have your collection included. But yeah, we could absolutely find everything from blue chip projects to smaller projects and smaller creators that want to participate. We might have dozens, if not more than that just are kind of like the starting point. And then everything that we do through our launchpad, through Mojo Market, will be included in that staking program. So we'll pretty much have starting collections that we kind of create partnerships with on existing artists and then kind of go from there. But still being worked out. We don't have the details written out. We don't have the qualifications figured out just yet, but we're just kind of building out the blueprint first.
Awesome. I figured I'd ask, right? You don't know if you don't ask. And I'm not sure about you, but a lot of ideas are formed through community involvement, through community feedback. So I love asking questions and getting certain answers, because you get a lot of answers from different perspectives that maybe, it pops a certain idea into your head for what you're working on. That would make sense.
Step one
I wanted to clarify.
It's going to be Mojo Milestone. So all the Mojo, pretty much almost every single Mojo NFT could potentially qualify for a milestone. You'd have to check out the strategies on the article that we have in Medium. But if you buy at least 1 Mojo head, you definitely qualify for at least 1 milestone. Multiple Mojo heads, depending upon what the traits are, will qualify you for more milestones. But yeah, proof of concept is going to be through the Mojo NFTs. And if things work out really well, then we'll absolutely expand this to potentially artists as well as their collections. But yeah, that's step 1.
Awesome. And Squirrel, I guess not really Squirrel, but before I get sidetracked too much more,
let's give away.
We're going to end it. Yep, this is a priority pass. We have it on 20. I think Pars is the closest. 19, you got it. So we usually do, if you don't hit it right on the number, if you're 1 away, you get the win. But if you're tied, we generally re-roll. But there's no way to select 21 on this. So congrats. So please do pop in our Discord if you're not already, and just pop your wallet address in the support channel after you verify. And I'll give a little banner. There's our Discord link. Just put that in your browser. It'll take you to our Discord. Let's also roll into the POAPs. So I figured a fun way to give away Tyler's Journey Mojo Heads NFT would be to randomly select everybody who requests a POAP for today. And it's a very simple process. What you have to do is join our Discord down there. Go into the POAP channel. Once you verify, you'll see a POAP channel underneath chat and community. And what you want to do is put the episode number, put this secret phrase of give, all caps, GIVE, and spotlight artists. So give and spotlight artists, a 3-word secret phrase, and then followed by your full-length public wallet address. We'll airdrop you a POAP, as well as randomly select somebody for Tyler's Journey's Mojo Heads NFT. And then we're going to do a roll-off for that VIP access to close out the episode.
So I'm in your Discord right now under the POAP chat, and I don't have permission to send any messages.
Good call. Let me double check. Give me 1 second. Let me enable that. Hey, Gary, he's probably watching on the back end. Shout out, Gary. He's the unsung hero here on BitmonkeyTV and BitMonkey Studios, helping out on the back end quite a bit. Gary, Gary, we say Gary P, not Gary V, right? Because his last name starts with a P, but he's broken in the Discord. We're still broken on Twitter.
Oh, cool. Well, what's up, Broken? How you doing? I think he was one of the buyers of the passes earlier too.
He actually has that golden yam I used on the cover. If you notice, I used a golden yam on the cover of today's thumbnail. Yeah. He owns the Mojo Head? He owns,
No
yeah.
way.
Insane.
Oh my God. I didn't know
that.
That's the best yam, the golden epic yam. That's the only epic yam that exists.
Really?
Mm-hmm. There's only one epic rarity per artist.
I asked him how much, but his asking price is still too high for me. So I'm going to keep asking month after month,
Yeah, honestly, like, you can get an Aversano, I believe, for around 0.5 still. And that's an amazing deal.
That is, yeah. Hopefully we didn't get rugged. You lost audio. Can everybody still hear us? I think so. So let us know if you got your connection back there.
Test.
And the POAP channel should be open. So go ahead. Yep, love it. Zen Rasta is on it. Everybody, please go enter in your public wallet address, followed by the secret phrase. Hey, Zen, something new we're doing is putting in the episode number. So today's 156, which is shocking to think about. 156 started about a year ago.
You're on 156 of these?
Mm-hmm.
Oh my God! Props to you, man. I still
haven't looked
mad
back
for having
man.
42 Mojo lives. That's insane. Good for you, man.
But shout out, like, you're doing it every week. My first 100 episodes was Monday through Friday, and I didn't hit every week. Some weeks I had something come up, emergencies, so I would have to, either cancel, reschedule, or just skip a day. But for the most part, I was consistently Monday through Friday. I had a theme of the day for each day, and then I stopped at 100 to go to Portugal, reset, and then kick things back off again. And now I think closer to 150, I've really developed a macro chief aim for BitmonkeyTV. So it's really special, but it wouldn't have come without
episode 1. Like if I went
they're
back?
all live. Yeah, I uploaded. So we had initially started on Twitch, right, and started kind of like offline, but we're like, no, we need to live stream this. And I made sure to upload everything on YouTube. So 1 through present, they're there. So I haven't rewatched number 1, if I'm being honest. Still can't.
Oh man, yeah. I haven't listened back to number 2. We didn't start recording until the second one. We didn't really expect it to be anything significant, but yeah, it's pretty fun to look at your journey, right? To look and see where you've come. I'll have to check out number 1 after this.
I appreciate that, man. Oh my goodness, I'm embarrassed just thinking about it. I'm gonna have to check it out too. I think it's
those
time.
are the good times, right? When you're just trying to figure things out.
Yeah, I know, right? And it's amazing how far we've come. And I have some. I'm not going to say it right now, but I have some fun surprises. I have a big guest lined up for episode 777 already. That's how committed I am to this.
777.
Yeah, it was a bold ask, and he said yes. So, and you can imagine who I'm going to be asking for 555. So.
Yeah.
Yeah, right.
Who would be 777? I don't even have a guess on that one.
All right, so let's get started here. We're gonna do. So this is that part of the episode where it's time to say goodbye. But before we do, we have some closing questions. Think of it like a speed round of questions for Moby here. please continue. If you're just joining us last minute, it's POAP time. So hop in our Discord. You'll see this pinned banner across the bottom of your screen. Go to the POAP channel once you verify. If you're not already verified, put in today's number 156, episode 156, followed by the secret phrase of give and spotlight artists, followed by your full-length public wallet address. We'll airdrop you a POAP, and we're going to randomly select one of those addresses at the very end of this episode, because why not? We do it live, right? So let's get straight into it.
So fun.
Closing 7 questions. So just a preface on the rules. If you hear one versus the other, just the first one that comes to mind, you can go as in-depth as you'd like. And at the end, I'll give you the floor to shill, alpha, let everybody know where to reach you, and so forth. So we still have one more giveaway to do, don't we? The VIP. What do you think we should do? Do another random generator throughout the 7 questions, and we'll pick at the end? I think so.
That's what we do on Mojo Live. We'll just start the contest, but we'll continue the show. So
I love it. So pick a number between 1 through 20. We'll start rolling at the end of these 7 questions when we're really closing it out. Number 1, passion or purpose?
Wow, they're very similar to me. Yeah, purpose.
Love it. I could tell based off our conversation that I had a feeling it would have been purpose driven. Glass half empty or half full?
Always half full.
Love it. I know you're more, not to dox location, but desert bound, but beach or mountains?
Oh, definitely beach.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Yep.
Love it. What are 2 of the biggest difficulties you've faced with starting Mojohead's Mojo Token, for anybody curious about the process in developing an ERC20 token ecosystem?
Yeah, Casey would be the one to ask there. So I'm not the primary dev, luckily, because I would fail for sure. But yeah, I mean, we've got an amazing dev, and Casey has his team, which basically runs everything on the back end for us. So the smart contracts as well as the ERC20 token. I would say that, you know, when it comes to the challenges of running an NFT project as a whole, and I think that you could probably answer this pretty well also, is everything is unexpected. You know, you get into, you have expectations, and then you realize that, wow, there was all the planning in the world could not prepare you for running an NFT project. And whether it's the Discord or whether it's, you know, your expectations on the mint, it always puts you in a situation where you have to crawl your way out of something. And so for us, you know, it's like, okay, we did not mint out on the group C. We almost did, but you know, we got to a place where we're like 2/3 sold out. We're like, okay, what's the plan? You know, we kind of have usually some plan in order, but we were pretty confident of a sellout, and it did happen. And so we're like, okay. And at the time, I believe that, you know, we just basically said, we will sell as much as we can, and we'll have special promotions to try and sell as many as we can. But at the end, you know, we'll just go ahead and have a cutoff date, and then we'll just go ahead and vault the rest of them, for example. But small example, and that's probably a very minor example as to the type of things that you have to worry about. You know, other things that have occurred from running a community is all of the different scams that hit your community. I would never have expected how many Mojo heads would get stolen from the original minters and holders. So that's like just the one thing that just bums you out as a project founder. You're just like seeing the people who believe in you and are supporting you the whole way just get scammed out of their tokens, and they're left with nothing, right? So you want to help them. You want to spend money to help them and make them whole again. Even it was not your fault, but you know, you just feel a sense of responsibility because they've just been with you, supporting you the whole way. Those type of things are just like, I mean, this industry is just so fucking unforgiving sometimes in that way. And whether you're the person victimized or whether you're somebody like us who is just trying to move into the right direction, you don't want to see scammers hold your tokens.
Yeah. And like on that note, this right here is so tough because you buy a stolen one with the intent of actually buying it with your hard-earned money. No matter how you got it, it's yours. And now you can't do anything with that bought token, right? When you didn't wrongfully buy it, you bought it. And it's tough. And as much as I'd love to think we'll have a solution for that in this space, it's everything's, as you've learned, is immutable here. You can't kind of reverse these transactions.
Education, and then the software needs to improve. MetaMask needs to be better, for sure.
Yeah, better solutions, better maybe support. But man, thank you for sharing that. I think that those are huge takeaways for anybody thinking about starting their own project, let alone their own token. You know, what to think about, what goes into it. And I love your answer. I mean, it's have a solid team that you can trust, right, to get you through those difficulties.
Lower your expectations and have a plan. You know, don't, you know, we have to make money in order to survive, you know, because we put a lot of technology that we build and we have to pay people. But I would say for most cases, you know, keep your budget small and work with people that are willing to do partnerships so that, you know, everybody's there for the long term. If you make no money, cool, no problem. We can keep going and come up with something new or at least evolve. But that's definitely the one lesson is just lower your expectations. And just enjoy it, have fun, learn the space. You know, I feel way more comfortable going forward than I did a year ago. When we were building Mojo ID and you saw that video, you know, that was like the early days. But now I feel really, really strong that, you know, we've assembled the correct team, you know, not only on the community side, the managers on that side, but on the technological side as well to really build out the coin and really go hard versus, you know, just kind of figuring out your footing. So I'm excited.
And I love how you said that comes from the early days. You can see the energy in that video. At least I can, as somebody who does that part-time and enjoys creating content, but just doesn't always have the time to focus on it full-time. I could see the energy behind that video. It seemed like it was a lot of fun putting that together and editing that as a team. So
the video we outsourced. We paid a lot.
Okay.
You know, I did write the script and all that, but man, it's a lot of work because you go back and forth and, you know, you're not necessarily happy with the first draft of the video. So you just continue to iterate until you are. But it's just too bad because we probably won't be using that video when we do launch Mojo ID because things are going to change. And fact is that the whole space has changed since middle of last year.
Who knows? Maybe you're teasing a solution to Discord being overtaken by maybe Mojo Chat or Mojo World or
nope.
I don't know.
Absolutely don't
You're like,
run.
nope.
No way, man. That's a nightmare.
I could imagine.
I'll let Discord figure that one out. You know, we want to build a nice profile that people like as well as have an ID. But yeah, milestones and then the profile and then Mojo ID for sure.
Love it. Next question. It plays off of, I love that you mentioned partnerships there. Let me go full screen. So being a serial entrepreneur, what would 2 tips be for anybody who's starting their first business? The first tip being one for solo operators doing it by themselves, and one for others who are going into a partnership. It's kind of like one tip for each scenario.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, when it comes to solo, you know, just do it. I think Gary Vee says this all the time. Just if you're going to make a content, just pick up the camera and start, right? Or if you're going to start a small business doing something, then, you know, start out super casual, but get involved somewhere that you can just do it, just start, right? And then learn all the mistakes you need to learn. Just, I would say, expect the first 6 months or longer even that you're going to fail. And that's okay. Failure is part of success. So I would say that when it comes to solo and when it comes to partnership, find the right partner. That would be the right advice there, I believe, is you just don't want to get married with somebody that you don't trust and that you don't think is going to add to value to the project.
Love that, man. Thank you for sharing. 6, what's the best way for an artist who's just learned about Mojo Heads, if this window is even still available, to become a potential spotlight artist?
Yeah, say it one more time. Sorry. It's like slightly distracted.
Yeah. Sorry. I kind of squirreled too. What's the best way for an artist who's just learned about you and Mojo Heads to potentially become a spotlight artist?
Yeah. To become a Mojo Head or a spotlight artist?
Or I guess a Mojo Head. Forgive me. Let me rephrase that. Yeah.
Get involved in the community for sure. So you have to be nominated. And the best way to be nominated is to be somebody that is well respected within the community. So, you know, I think that if you're an artist that has, you know, a very solid reputation already, then, you know, we may nominate you without you being even a member of our Discord. But any artist, in my opinion, that just has the minimum qualifications of experience can absolutely become a Mojo head in Group D or a Group E, let's say. Just get involved in the Mojo head Discord, start going to Mojo Lives, and start making friends. That's the best way to become a Mojo head.
Love it. Thank you for sharing. Last but not least, this is my favorite one. I've been asking this since I think my second ever interview or third ever interview as the closing question. What does happiness mean to you, and how do you define it?
Happiness to me is, happiness to me means a lot of things, honestly, but really it's just being healthy. I'd say that's number one. If you're healthy, you get up if you get up every single day and you can walk and function and do exactly the things that you love, that's number one. And then two is just finding what you love, you know, being self-aware and figuring out what really drives you to be happy. So that's all self-discovery. So for me, obviously, I love being a tech nerd. I love building things. I love, you know, staying in shape, being productive, and you know, having a great relationship. So those are the things that make me happy. But everybody's different. So you got to figure out what that means to you.
I love it, man. Beautiful. Well said. Thank you for sharing. Wow. I just got to say thank you. Sorry for going over the clock on today.
I could not miss the 7 questions. So you had the edge of my seat for that one.
Right. I hope you enjoyed. I hope everybody's enjoyed getting to know Moby a little bit more, getting to know Mojo Head, Mojoverse. Let me rephrase that. Any questions at all, do not hesitate. Pop on their Discord. If you're seeking to become a Mojo Head, get more active, right? I'm going to hint it. I can't wait to see Miss Manda art up there. Wink, wink. But I'll be quiet there. Time to give you the floor to, right? I know.
Yeah. No, I just want to say thank you guys for joining us today. So this has been really fun. I think that you're one of the best people in this space. I really enjoy our friendship and hope that we can work more together for sure. But for everybody who's listening today, if you're not part of the Mojo Heads Discord, I highly recommend it. Discord.gg/MojoHeads is you can go directly to that, or just find me on my Twitter, and then you'll kind of be able to click to Mojo Heads and then the Discord. Mojo Live is every Wednesday, so we do our own version of our podcast every single Wednesday. It's a party. There's over 100 people every single week, and it's direct from our Discord, which makes it so much more fun. It's the most interactive podcast that I know of, but we also have tons of giveaways as well as automatically dropped POAPs that we create ourselves as well. Tons of giveaways, tons of fun. It lasts about 2 hours. You can find our podcast as well on Spotify. If you just go to Google and type Mojo Live Spotify, it should come up, be the first one, and you can start listening to our content there as well. But yeah, I just want to say thank you for everybody, and look forward to Milestones. Milestones is coming. I cannot wait. We've been working so long on this freaking project, but it's going to be worth it, I promise. And then we're going to do amazing things after that as well. So Mojo Tokens right after that.
I love it. I'm excited. And yeah, thank you again. And I will squirrel off. If you need to go, I understand. I figured I'd do the roll for, you know, those numbers there and just close out with, oh man, shout out. I do too. I literally scoped out Whole
just
Foods.
Told me about this guru drink. Is it really tasty? Do you like it?
I like it because it's clean energy. You can pronounce all the ingredients. They're starting to come out with different flavors like matcha and yerba mate. But this is just one of the light, which are kind of like sugar free. They have the sugar ones, so it's definitely, there's a big difference in taste. But this is not a paid promotion, but I do enjoy drinking them. I drink them almost every day. And what's crazy is I don't get headaches without drinking them. They don't give me that caffeine addiction. So, but yeah, amazing energy drink.
Kayla's in the dental business, right? And I've been doing a lot of research on pH levels of different sodas and stuff like that. I watch a lot of health videos also, but I'd be curious what the pH level, the acid level is in something like Guru. I don't think it'll show it, but
you'd have to do a test, right?
Like a pH meter, yeah.
I might have to do that just out of curiosity. I think you just gave me some content for a BitmonkeyTV stream.
Yeah.
Just do the pH levels on Guru.
I gotta go buy me a can. I'll test it for you if you want.
Yeah, man. Oh, we got Josh wins it. Congratulations, Josh.
Hell yeah.
So I just rolled that 2 hit it.
My man.
And this is a childhood friend or a real life friend, right? That I remember you mentioning. Shout out for watching, or was
nope. Window Tinter is somebody I met in this space. He's one of the best for sure.
Wait, we have 2. Are you talking about Joshua or Josh?
Joshua Miller.
No, we have Josh who got the win. He got the 2.
I'm sorry.
Number 2.
Josh
yeah.
Gaynor. I don't think I know Josh Gaynor, but
okay. I thought how much sugar? I'm not sure. This one has 0 sugar. Squirrel. 3 added sugar, but. Congrats, man. Pop in the Discord, hop in our support channel, and just let us know that you just won the VIP pass, by the way.
Oh, that's the good one right there.
That
Congrats,
is the good
Josh.
one.
Oh, that's
Thanks for tuning in all the way.
See, everybody's got different names on YouTube and Google.
See, oh, all right. Okay, I've seen this name floating around. See, thank you. Thank you for tuning in, man. All right. So, without squirrel ado, this has been another episode.
Cracking me up, man.
Without squirrel ado, this has been another episode of BitmonkeyTV non-fungible token Thursdays. We're going to be randomly selecting once we distribute those POAPs a little bit later. They're all ready to go. So within the hour, we'll be announcing that Tyler's Journey Mojo Heads giveaway, as well as a fun post. We encourage everybody, spread the love, leave your 2 cents, share, retweet, tag as many friends you think could benefit from seeing Tyler's art, as well as Mojo Heads. And last but not least, everybody who applied for a POAP today will be airdropped a Moral Monkey Bite as well. So
nice.
Just want to thank you so much. Thank you so much for your patience today with this timeline. And man, it's been a blast. Looking forward to the next one.
Dude, me too, man. Thanks for everybody for being here. Love you guys and appreciate you guys. So look forward to the next time for sure.
All right. Sounds good. Much love.
Thanks so much for
having
me.
Care.
Appreciate it.
Yeah. And thank you again for coming on. Have a great rest of your week. We'll talk soon.
You too, my friend. You got it.
All right.
Talk to you
Cheers.
later.